Welcome to Steam Deck Mania, where we bring you the best deals on Steam games and game reviews. Clarence here, and in this video, we'll be showcasing some of the best deals you can find on the Steam platform that are compatible with the new Steam Deck. From exciting AAA titles to indie gems, there's something for every kind of gamer in this list. From action-packed shooters to thrilling adventures and everything in between, there's something for everyone in this list. The Steam Deck is an amazing piece of hardware that allows you to take your favorite games with you wherever you go. And with these amazing discounts, you can save big on some of the hottest titles in gaming. So whether you're looking for a new adventure, a challenging puzzle game, or a thrilling shooter, be sure to check out these 30 amazing discounts on Steam. You won't be disappointed. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Now, let's dive into these amazing deals and see what games you can add to your Steam Deck library without breaking the bank. First on the list is Cooking Companions. Cooking Companions is a delightful, lighthearted cooking simulator that is sure to whet the appetite of any foodie gamer. The game's charming visuals and lively soundtrack create a cozy, inviting atmosphere that makes you feel right at home in the kitchen. The intuitive controls and simple mechanics make it easy for players of all skill levels to jump right in and start cooking up a storm. Whether you're frying up chicken, baking a cake, or grilling burgers, the game's variety of recipes and ingredients keeps things fresh and interesting. And with the added bonus of cute animal companions to assist you, the cooking experience is elevated to a whole new level of fun. Overall, Cooking Companions is a finger-licking good time that is perfect for gamers who enjoy casual, relaxing gameplay with a delicious twist. So put on your apron, fire up the stove, and get ready to cook up a storm with your furry friends. Next is Diplomacy is Not an Option. Are you ready to put your diplomacy skills to the test? Then you should definitely check out Diplomacy is Not an Option. This game will challenge you to negotiate and form alliances with other players, all while trying to conquer the world. The game features a variety of modes, including both online and local play, so you can choose how you want to challenge yourself. And the game's simple, but effective. Visuals make it easy to focus on the gameplay and strategy. But what really sets Diplomacy is Not an Option apart is its unique twist on the genre. Instead of simply amassing armies and taking over territories, the game forces you to constantly negotiate with other players in order to succeed. It's a refreshing change of pace that will keep you on your toes and engaged throughout each match. Overall, if you're looking for a strategy game that puts your diplomacy skills to the test, Diplomacy is Not an Option is a must-play. Next up, Cyber Manhunt. Welcome to the world of Cyber Manhunt, a thrilling cyberpunk game that will keep you on the edge of your seat. In this game, you play as a detective who must solve various cases by tracking down criminals in a dystopian city. The graphics are stunning, and the attention to detail is impressive. The game's atmosphere is immersive, and the sound effects and music add to the overall experience. The gameplay is challenging and rewarding, as you must use your detective skills to analyze clues and make connections between suspects. The game's story is well written, and each case has a unique twist that keeps you engaged. One of the best aspects of Cyber Manhunt is its replayability. There are multiple endings to each case, and your choices throughout the game have a significant impact on the outcome. This encourages you to try different approaches and play the game again and again. Overall, Cyber Manhunt is a fantastic game that is sure to satisfy fans of cyberpunk and detective genres. With its captivating story, beautiful graphics, and challenging gameplay, it's definitely worth checking out. Next on the list is Knock Harder. Knock Harder is a unique casual, action game that will keep you on your toes as you try to distinguish between reality and dreams. Developed and self-published by Snail Ninja Studio on Steam, the game takes you on a journey where you'll face a dilemma every few minutes, decide whether you're experiencing a dream or reality, and then either kill yourself or stay alive. The game has 3 levels of difficulty, each with its own set of challenges. You'll have to find clues by searching the furniture, reading notes, and checking the walls to determine if you're in a dream or reality. You'll also have to shoot parasite carriers while making sure you have enough ammunition to survive. The challenge of distinguishing between reality and dreams is a tough one, but it's what makes the game so engaging. The graphics and soundtrack are great, and as you progress through the levels, you'll unlock new weapons and items to use. With over 200 hints to discover, the game is entertaining and challenging. The only downside is that there's only one house to play through. But overall, Knock Harder is a fun and unique game that's worth playing. Next is Alwa's Legacy. If you're a fan of Metroidvania games, Alwa's Legacy is definitely worth checking out. From the non-linear levels to the light combat and puzzle solving, this game has everything you could want in the genre. One thing that really stands out is the memorable characters and cohesive world, which helps to make the game feel more immersive. One of the things I appreciated most about Alwa's Legacy was the game's responsive movement. It always feels like you have complete control over your character, which is crucial in a game where precise platforming is so important. The suite of abilities is also thorough without being overwhelming, and each new ability you gain feels like a real game changer. The Zelda-like temples or dungeons are another highlight of the game. Each one has a persistent element and a unique identity, which helps to keep things fresh throughout the game. And speaking of fresh, the environmental backgrounds in Alwa's Legacy are simply stunning. The game's art style is detailed and full of personality, and I love how the developers weren't afraid to push the limits of what's possible on a 2D plane. Overall, Alwa's Legacy is an excellent addition to the Metroidvania genre, with plenty of depth and replayability to keep you coming back for more. Highly recommended. Next up, Master of Pottery. Master of Pottery is a silly and entertaining game that allows players to create their own pottery masterpieces. The game starts with basic pottery skills, such as molding the clay and firing it in a kiln. As players level up, they can unlock new tools and techniques such as handles, lids, and spouts. The best part of the game is the decorating phase, where players can choose from a wide variety of colors, decorations, patterns, and finishes to adorn their pots. Once the pot is complete, players can exhibit their work in their own gallery and set ticket prices to attract visitors. Despite its simplistic gameplay, Master of Pottery is addictively entertaining. The game systems, such as ticket pricing and advertising, are surprisingly well developed, and players can easily spend hours trying to make the most ridiculous and outrageous pottery creations. The game's low price point makes it a great value for its entertainment value. While the game is not a perfect translation from its original Chinese and still in development, it is complete enough to provide hours of fun for players of all ages. Next on the list is Arietta of Spirits. Arietta of Spirits is a Zelda-inspired adventure game developed by Third Spirit Games that centers around grief and the importance of facing and dealing with it. The game tells the story of 13-year-old Arietta and her family who visit their grandma's cottage after her passing. On her first night, Arietta dreams of vengeful souls and discovers she is bound, tasked with fighting roamers and maintaining the balance between the spirit realm and reality. Arietta of Spirits invites players into an interesting world that blends fantasy with modern reality. The gameplay is similar to the Zelda series, with hearts measuring hit points, rolling and swinging swords at oncoming foes. The Third Spirit team has built upon this foundation, adding their own twists, such as roamer cores that are crucial for expanding Arietta's health, and gems dropped by roamers that act like experience. The game offers quirky characters to connect with, engaging side quests, and various dungeons to explore with enough thrill to encourage thorough exploration of the island. The controls tend to trip up an otherwise smooth experience when in combat, as you can only attack in the 4 cardinal directions. Despite this, Arietta of Spirits provides players with a memorable, emotional, and brief experience. Next is In Sound Mind. In Sound Mind is a psychological horror game that takes place in a dreamlike reality, where you play as a therapist with an unknown past. As you explore an abandoned apartment building, you will come across therapy session tapes that will teleport you to 4 main twisted dreamscapes. Each location has a unique, recurring threat that makes things tricky as you scrounge for puzzle items, ammo, food, and secret pills that offer permanent buffs to your health and stamina, among other stats. In Sound Mind's gameplay is centered on exploration and puzzles, with a major theme of environmental observation. The game features sneaky mannequin shenanigans, specters who stalk you while you're scrounging for puzzle solutions and hidden items, and lots of random phone calls that you can freely hang up on. The longer you play, the less spooky it becomes, but a larger-than-life conspiracy emerges, taking center stage. The game has some of the elements we've come to expect from indie and mid-tier horror games, but goes to some wild and original places over its 10 to 12-hour runtime. Next up is Shady Part of Me. Shady Part of Me is a puzzle platformer that packs an emotional punch through its gameplay and storytelling. You play as a young girl accompanied by her shadow, exploring surreal environments that serve as a metaphor for overcoming insecurity and trauma. The game's visuals are breathtaking, with detailed architecture and animated cross-hatched shadows that make the world feel like an animated watercolor graphic novel. The dark jazz soundtrack perfectly matches the mood of each area of the game. The game mechanics are familiar but polished, with smooth and tactile movement and gravity warping mechanics that add a new layer of challenge. Voice acting by Hannah Murray is excellent, although the story can be hard to piece together from the drip of rendered dialogue. The game's difficulty level is consistent, with checkpointed sections that are short and inventive puzzles that make use of an origami gameplay feature, providing replay value. While the story could be less vague, the game's high standards of design and entertaining challenge make it a worthwhile addition to the puzzle platformer genre. Deuce Dixon's is a studio to watch out for in the future. Overall, Shady Part of Me is a great atmospheric winter puzzler that delivers both a satisfying gameplay experience and an emotional journey. Next on the list is GemCraft, Frostborn Ref. GemCraft is a tower defense game where you build towers and defend your core using gem sockets to power them. Gems come in different types and can be combined to create multifunctional gems. GemCraft, Frostborn Wrath has challenging levels, but every time you fail, you still gain experience and other resources that help you improve your chances next time. This game has a lot of strategy in terms of using limited resources, upgrading characters, and enhancing abilities. There are various enemy types, towers, traps, pylons, and other things to utilize in the game. There are also resources to collect such as experience points, talismans, and shadow cores that are used for enhancements. The game has a classic look and graphics but does not need to be elegant. There are over 600 achievements to collect and a story to follow, which can be a little confusing at times based on its delivery method and writing style. GemCraft is an interesting and challenging tower defense game that has a unique gameplay mechanic with its use of gems to power towers. Next is Evan's Remains. Evan's Remains is a game that combines a visual novel and a puzzle game in a unique way. As you control Dices, a young woman searching for a missing genius named Evan on a mysterious island. The game alternates between story scenes and puzzle-solving sequences seamlessly. The narrative is well-paced, with intriguing mysteries to uncover, but unfortunately, the conclusion is a letdown with an absurd twist that makes the journey less interesting. The puzzles are single-screen challenges that require jumping over barriers, but the game cleverly combines different elements to give each puzzle a unique approach. The platforming is not about skill but rather experimentation and logic, which is refreshing. However, the puzzle ideas don't ramp up to a satisfying level, and the solutions are always a mechanical series of jumps, lacking unconventional thinking. This lack of evolution makes the puzzles feel constrained, leaving players with a sense of unfulfilled potential. Overall, Evan's Remains successfully achieves what it sets out to do, deliver a compact story with neat puzzles. While it may not ascend to great heights, it's still an interesting and unique game worth playing. Monster Energy Supercross, the official Videogame 3. Monster Energy Supercross, the official Videogame 3 is a decent game, though not exactly groundbreaking. If you're a fan of motorbikes, the M.A.S.S Supercross Championship, and traveling across the United States trying not to fall over, this might just be your cup of tea. One of the game's strongest assets is its fast pace and sense of speed, which makes even modest velocities feel blistering and dangerous as you race shoulder to shoulder with up to 24 other riders. Returning fans will notice that the game doesn't differ drastically from the previous editions, but there are some subtle changes that distinguish Supercross 3 from Supercross 2. For instance, the bike handling has been tweaked, and bikes now feel more connected to the ground than before. There are also now female riders in the game for the first time, which is a welcome addition. While the game is fairly accessible, the learning curve is steep and it can be tricky to master the technical aspects of bike handling. The tutorial is also lacking, but with some practice and experimentation, you can eventually get the hang of it. Overall, Monster Energy Supercross, the official Videogame 3 is a solid two-wheeled racer with a good atmosphere and a great sense of speed, though it doesn't offer anything drastically different from its predecessors. Next up is Cthulhu Saves Christmas. Cthulhu Saves Christmas is a festive and fun indie RPG that is sure to put you in the holiday spirit. Developed by Zeboid Games, this game puts a hilarious twist on Lovecraftian lore by casting the infamous Cthulhu as the game's protagonist. The game's storyline follows Cthulhu, who has regained his power after being defeated by a band of heroes. However, he soon finds himself in trouble again when Santa Claus is kidnapped by the evil Snow Maiden. To save Christmas, Cthulhu must embark on a quest to defeat the Snow Maiden and her minions, with the help of some quirky allies along the way. The gameplay of Cthulhu Saves Christmas is reminiscent of classic RPGs, with turn-based battles, leveling up, and item management. The battles are challenging but fair, and the game features multiple difficulty settings to accommodate players of all skill levels. The graphics and sound are charming and fittingly festive, with plenty of references to both Lovecraftian horror and Christmas cheer. Overall, Cthulhu Saves Christmas is a delightfully quirky and entertaining RPG that offers a unique take on holiday-themed gaming. Its blend of humor, horror, and heartwarming moments is sure to make it a new holiday classic for fans of the genre. Next on the list is Lamentum. Lamentum is a dark, eerie horror game that's available on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. The game has a unique art style that combines pixel art with hand-drawn elements, which creates a visually striking and immersive atmosphere. Players take on the role of a man named Victor, who's searching for a cure for his wife's mysterious illness. The game is set in a Victorian-era mansion that's filled with dangerous monsters and supernatural occurrences. Players will need to use their wits and bravery to explore the mansion, solve puzzles, and fight off terrifying creatures. One of the most impressive aspects of Lamentum is its attention to detail. The mansion is intricately designed, and each room is filled with clues, hidden items, and secrets. The game also features a variety of different enemy types, each with their own unique attack patterns and weaknesses. The gameplay in Lamentum is challenging but rewarding. The puzzles are well designed and require a mix of exploration, critical thinking, and trial and error. The combat is intense and fast-paced, and players will need to be strategic with their attacks and dodges. Next is FlowScape. FlowScape is a delightful and relaxing PC game that offers a unique way to unleash your creativity. As soon as you start the game, you're immersed in a stunning 3D world filled with beautiful landscapes, trees, mountains, rivers, and more. The game provides you with various tools and assets that you can use to create your own virtual worlds, ranging from forests to beaches and even a mystical city. You can also customize the time of day, add weather effects, and adjust the lighting to create the perfect atmosphere for your creation. One of the most impressive aspects of FlowScape is its ease of use. You don't need any prior experience with 3D modeling or game design to start creating your own worlds. The intuitive controls and user-friendly interface make it easy for anyone to jump in and start building. Moreover, FlowScape is not just a game for creatives. It's also a fantastic stress reliever and a great way to unwind after a long day. The calming music and peaceful scenery create a soothing atmosphere that allows you to relax and forget about your worries. In conclusion, if you're looking for a unique and relaxing way to express your creativity, or simply want to unwind, FlowScape is the perfect game for you. Its stunning visuals, intuitive controls, and peaceful atmosphere make it a joy to play. Overall, Lamentum is a great horror game that's worth checking out if you're a fan of the genre. Its unique art style, detailed world building, and challenging gameplay make for an immersive and unforgettable experience. Next up is Wanba Warriors. Wanba Warriors is a strange and entertaining game that combines elements of classic arcade games with cartoony graphics and a bizarre sense of humor. In the game, 4 animal warriors embark on adventures as they battle their way through various levels filled with enemies and obstacles. One of Wanba Warriors' best features is its bright and charming art style. It reminds me of classic 1990s cartoons. The game world is full of vibrant colors and intriguing details that make it enjoyable to explore and battle through. Wanba Warriors is a straightforward game that is still enjoyable to play. Players take control of one of 4 warriors as they fight through waves of enemies. Each warrior has unique abilities and attacks. The controls are simple to grasp and apply, but the combat is complex enough to keep things interesting. The game also has a cooperative mode in which players can fight through the levels with a friend. This makes the game more enjoyable because players can plan their attacks and combine their skills to defeat tougher enemies. Wanba Warriors is a cute little game that fans of classic arcade games and funny cartoons will enjoy. It's a fun and entertaining game with cute graphics and fun gameplay that you should definitely check out. Next on the list is Terror of Hemasaurus. Terror of Hemasaurus is a fun and engaging game that will take you on an exciting adventure through a prehistoric world. The game's graphics are impressive, with vivid colors and attention to detail that make the world feel alive. In Terror of Hemasaurus, you play as a dinosaur trying to survive in a world full of dangers. You'll have to navigate through various terrains, fight other dinosaurs, and avoid environmental hazards to stay alive. The game's controls are intuitive and easy to learn, making it accessible to players of all skill levels. One of the standout features of Terror of Hemasaurus is its variety. There are many different types of dinosaurs to encounter, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. The game also features multiple game modes, including a story mode and a survival mode, which add to the replayability. Overall, Terror of Hemasaurus is a great game for anyone who loves dinosaurs or action-adventure games. Its engaging gameplay and attention to detail make it a must-play for fans of the genre. Next is M.A.S.S Builder. If you're a fan of mechs and customization, M.A.S S Builder might be worth checking out. This indie game from developer Vermilion Digital puts you in the role of a pilot, tasked with assembling and piloting your own customized mech. The game features a deep customization system, allowing you to fine-tune every aspect of your mech, from its weapons and armor to its appearance. You can even create your own emblems to display on your mech. In addition to the customization, M.A.S.S Builder features fast-paced combat against a variety of enemies, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. The game also has a story mode, where you can progress through a narrative while upgrading your mech and taking on tougher challenges. One downside of M.A.S.S Builder is that it can be a bit overwhelming at first, with a lot of systems and mechanics to learn. However, once you get the hang of things, the game can be a lot of fun. Overall, M.A.S.S Builder is a solid mech game with a lot of depth and customization options. If you're a fan of the genre, it's definitely worth checking out. Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure. Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure is a game that truly captures the essence of H.P. Lovecraft's work in a way that's both entertaining and visually appealing. The game is beautifully animated and the voice acting is top-notch, drawing you into its world right from the start. As you embark on your journey, you'll solve puzzles and interact with quirky characters, all while uncovering the dark secrets of the story. The humor in the game is well done, balancing out the darker themes without detracting from the overall tone. The game's soundtrack is another standout feature, adding to the eerie atmosphere and immersing you in the Lovecraftian world. The game is also quite lengthy, with plenty of content to keep you engaged for hours on end. While there are a few minor issues with the game's pacing and dialogue, they don't detract from the overall experience. If you're a fan of Lovecraftian horror or point-and-click adventure games, Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure is definitely worth checking out. Next up is Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is an indie game that combines the classic monster collecting genre with exploration and platforming, offering a unique twist on the genre. As a monster tamer, you must build a team of creatures and battle other tamers to become the champion of the Monster Sanctuary. The game's world is full of wild monsters that you can capture and add to your team, each with its own abilities and strengths. Building a well-rounded team is essential to facing any challenge. The battles in Monster Sanctuary are turn-based with depth and complexity, requiring careful strategy to choose the right monsters for each battle. The game's exploration and platforming elements add another layer of depth to the game, as you use your monster's abilities to navigate through levels filled with puzzles and hidden secrets. Monster Sanctuary's pixel art visuals and catchy soundtrack are the icing on the cake, making for a truly engaging experience that fans of the genre are sure to enjoy. If you're a fan of classic monster collecting games like Pokémon or Digimon, then Monster Sanctuary is a must-try game. Next on the list is Jupiter Hell. Jupiter Hell is a turn-based tactical roguelike game that takes place in a sci-fi universe where humanity is facing extinction from a demonic invasion. Developed by Chaos Forge, Jupiter Hell offers a thrilling gameplay experience that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. In Jupiter Hell, you take on the role of a space marine who must fight through hordes of demons in order to uncover the truth behind the invasion and save humanity. The game's turn-based combat system is both strategic and satisfying, with a variety of weapons, items, and abilities at your disposal to help you take down your foes. One of the things that sets Jupiter Hell apart from other roguelike games is its level of depth and complexity. The game features a deep skill tree, multiple character classes to choose from, and a variety of different enemy types to face. Each playthrough feels fresh and challenging, with randomly generated levels and permadeath adding to the overall tension. The game's retro-inspired graphics and heavy metal soundtrack are sure to please fans of classic sci-fi and horror. With its challenging gameplay, thrilling combat, and immersive atmosphere, Jupiter Hell is a must-play for any fan of the roguelike genre. So grab your plasma rifle and get ready to fight for humanity's survival. The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa is a one-of-a-kind game that combines two popular genres, beat 'em up and life simulation. You play as a high school delinquent, Ringo Ishikawa, as he navigates through teenage life. The gameplay is divided into two main parts, the beat-em-up combat and the life simulation aspect. The beat-em-up combat takes place on the streets of Ringo's town, where you'll fight against rival gangs and other foes. The life simulation aspect requires you to manage Ringo's daily routine by attending school, working part-time jobs, and socializing with friends. The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa has a unique art style that mixes retro pixel art with modern elements such as dynamic lighting and weather effects. It's a well-crafted indie title that offers an engaging story, fun combat, and a distinctive presentation. If you enjoy beat-em-up or life simulation games, The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa is definitely worth checking out. Next is Hexologic. Hexologic is a fun and satisfying puzzle game that's perfect for fans of brain teasers and Sudoku-style challenges. Developed by Mythic Owl, this indie title features a unique blend of hexagonal grid puzzles that will test your logic and problem-solving skills. The gameplay of Hexologic is simple yet addictive. Each level presents you with a series of hexagonal tiles, each containing a number. Your task is to fill in the empty tiles with numbers, while also making sure that the sum of each row and column adds up to a certain value. It sounds easy, but as you progress through the game, the puzzles become increasingly challenging and complex. One of the standout features of Hexologic is its minimalist art style and soothing soundtrack. The game's visuals are clean and crisp, with a common color palette and simple geometric shapes. This, combined with the relaxing music and sound effects, creates a tranquil and meditative atmosphere that's perfect for unwinding after a long day. Overall, Hexologic is a short but satisfying puzzle game that's perfect for both casual and hardcore gamers. Its unique hexagonal grid system, combined with its minimalist art style and soothing soundtrack, make for an enjoyable and challenging experience that's well worth checking out. If you're a fan of brain teasers and Sudoku-style puzzles, then be sure to give Hexologic a try. Next up is Ninjin, Clash of Carrots. Ninjin, Clash of Carrots is a delightful action-packed game developed by Pocket Trap and published by M.A.S.S Games. The game has a unique blend of elements from genres such as action, beat 'em up, and RPG. The game's story is centered around the quest of a rabbit named Ninjin and his friend Akai, as they try to recover stolen carrots from the Shogun Mo's army. The gameplay in Ninjin, Clash of Carrots involves fighting off hordes of enemies, collecting gold coins and carrots, and upgrading your weapons and abilities. The combat is fast-paced and engaging, with a variety of combos, special attacks, and dodges available to keep you on your toes. One of the standout features of Ninjin, Clash of Carrots is its colorful and charming graphics, which perfectly capture the game's lighthearted tone. The game's soundtrack is also catchy and fun, adding to the overall enjoyment of the game. Overall, Ninjin, Clash of Carrots is a fun and entertaining game that is sure to appeal to fans of action and beat-em-up games. With its charming visuals, engaging combat, and addictive gameplay, it's definitely worth checking out. Whether you're a fan of rabbits or just looking for a fun game to play, Ninjin, Clash of Carrots won't disappoint. Next on the list is Degrees of Separation. Degrees of Separation is a visually stunning puzzle platformer developed by Moondrop Studios. In this game, you play as Ember and Rhyme, two characters with the power to manipulate the environment in opposite ways. Ember can control heat, while Rhyme can control cold. The game takes place in a magical world split into two contrasting kingdoms, one representing fire and the other ice. Ember and Rhyme are on a journey to reunite the kingdoms and restore balance to the world. Along the way, they must solve puzzles and overcome obstacles by working together and using their unique abilities. The gameplay of Degrees of Separation is a mix of platforming and puzzle solving. Each level presents a new challenge that requires you to use both characters' abilities to progress. The puzzles are well designed and often require creative thinking to solve. One of the highlights of Degrees of Separation is its stunning art style. The environments are beautifully rendered, and the use of contrasting colors and lighting adds to the game's magical atmosphere. The music and sound effects are also well done and add to the immersive experience. Overall, Degrees of Separation is a charming and enjoyable puzzle platformer that is well worth playing. The game's unique mechanics, beautiful visuals, and engaging puzzles make for a memorable experience that is sure to delight players of all ages. Next is Cloudpunk. Cloudpunk is a narrative-driven game that takes place in a beautifully rendered, futuristic city. Developed by Ion Lands, this indie title puts you in the shoes of Rania, a delivery driver for the Cloudpunk company. The gameplay of Cloudpunk is split between driving through the city and exploring its various districts on foot. As you make deliveries, you'll encounter a cast of interesting characters, each with their own unique stories to tell. The dialogue and writing in Cloudpunk are excellent, and the game does a fantastic job of immersing you in its world. One of the standout features of Cloudpunk is its art style. The game uses a combination of low-poly 3D models and pixel art textures to create a unique, retro-futuristic look. The city is absolutely stunning to behold, with neon lights and futuristic architecture that really capture the feeling of a bustling metropolis. Overall, Cloudpunk is a fantastic game that is well worth checking out for anyone who enjoys narrative-driven titles. Its engaging story, beautiful visuals, and excellent writing make it a standout indie title that should not be missed. So if you're looking for a new game to sink your teeth into, be sure to give Cloudpunk a try. Next up is 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. 9 Monkeys of Shaolin is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game developed by Sobaka Studio. Set in ancient China, the game follows the story of a young fisherman named Wei Cheng, who sets out to avenge his friends and family after they were attacked by pirates. The gameplay in 9 Monkeys of Shaolin is fairly straightforward. You'll move through various levels, fighting off waves of enemies using a combination of martial arts and mystical powers. As you progress, you'll unlock new abilities and upgrades that allow you to take on even tougher foes. One of the standout features of 9 Monkeys of Shaolin is its art style and presentation. The game uses a beautiful hand-drawn aesthetic that perfectly captures the look and feel of ancient China. The sound design is also top-notch, with a fitting soundtrack and satisfying sound effects. Overall, 9 Monkeys of Shaolin is a solid beat-em-up game that fans of the genre will definitely enjoy. Its engaging story, satisfying combat, and beautiful presentation make it a standout title that is well worth checking out. Whether you're a fan of martial arts movies or just looking for a fun action game, 9 Monkeys of Shaolin is definitely worth a look. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night is a true spiritual successor to the classic Castlevania games. Developed by Artplay and published by 505 Games, this indie title follows the story of Miriam, a young woman who has been cursed by an alchemist and must journey through a demon-infested castle to find and defeat him. The game features tight and responsive gameplay, with fast-paced combat that requires quick reflexes and strategic thinking. As you progress through the castle, you'll gain new abilities and weapons that allow you to explore new areas and take on tougher enemies. One of the standout features of Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night is its deep crafting and customization system. You can craft new weapons and gear using materials you collect throughout the game, and can also upgrade your existing equipment with new abilities and stats. The game's graphics and sound design are also top-notch, with gorgeous hand-drawn artwork and a haunting soundtrack that perfectly captures the gothic horror atmosphere. Overall, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night is a must-play for fans of classic action platformers and Castlevania games. Its deep gameplay systems, challenging combat, and stunning presentation make it one of the best indie titles of recent years. Next is SIMULACRA. SIMULACRA is a unique and engaging horror game that puts you in the role of a detective investigating a missing person case. Developed by Kaigen Games, this indie title uses a found phone format to tell its story, which makes for an immersive and engaging experience. In SIMULACRA, you'll need to sift through the contents of a missing woman's phone in order to find clues and piece together what happened to her. You'll interact with various characters through text messages, emails, and social media, and you'll need to use your investigative skills to uncover hidden information and solve puzzles. The game's horror elements come into play as you delve deeper into the case, with supernatural occurrences and a growing sense of unease adding to the tension. The game's use of live-action video and audio also helps to create a sense of immersion and realism that is sure to keep you on edge. Overall, SIMULACRA is a fantastic horror game that is sure to appeal to fans of the genre. Its unique format and engaging gameplay make for a truly memorable experience, and the game's story and characters are sure to keep you invested from start to finish. If you're looking for a fresh take on the horror genre, then be sure to give SIMULACRA a try. And last but not the least, ELDERBORN. ELDERBORN is a first-person action game developed by Hyperstrange that takes players on a journey through a mysterious world of dungeons and catacombs filled with fierce enemies. The game is inspired by classic action titles like Doom and Dark Souls, with fast-paced combat and challenging boss fights. One of the standout features of ELDERBORN is its combat system, which emphasizes timing and positioning. Players must dodge and parry attacks while unleashing their own devastating strikes with melee weapons. Each encounter is a test of skill and strategy, and the game's difficulty ramps up quickly. The game's world is also worth noting, with intricate level design and atmospheric environments that add to the sense of danger and exploration. The visuals are stunning, with detailed textures and lighting effects that enhance the overall experience. While ELDERBORN's combat and visuals are impressive, the game falls short in other areas. The story is thin and the voice acting is lackluster, with forgettable characters and dialogue. The game is also relatively short, with only a few hours of content. Overall, ELDERBORN is a fun and challenging action game that will appeal to fans of the genre. Its combat system and level design are top-notch, but the lack of depth in other areas may leave some players wanting more. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more gaming content. And if you've already taken advantage of these amazing Steam Deck discounts, let us know in the comments below which games you're most excited to play. Stay tuned for more great deals and gaming content from our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.